But that's not even the issue. We have all these firefighter and police videos now where they're saying, get back, they're going to blow it up, get back, and then BBC.
So do you think that they set it up like when they were building it like this?
I believe they meant to fly the Pennsylvania plane into it, and something happened. And I had Pentagon people tell me that the Pentagon refused orders and did shoot the plane down, and that they meant later in that morning to have Flight 93 fly into it, so it was already wired, and that was the CIA headquarters.
Huh.
So they still had to blow it up.
So, but this is what I don't understand. Do you believe that it was rigged, like just prior to the attacks, or do you think that it was constructed with all this explosives in it? Like, how do you think that?
Well, we found out. We found out. I mean, if you want me to go through it, I could have you back for an hour sometime and have the physicist and scientist on. It turns out that they did special construction, and that NASA and then the very guys on NIST who are doing the cover-up are the experts on a putty thermite that they use to discouple rockets in their stages.
Right.
And then it's explosive. It cuts through things instantly.
But they had to get through to the frame of the building
they
to
jacketed
install
it
this stuff, right?
In 1999, they did a remodel and added new fireproofing and used a special company connected to the group.
So they set this up from 1999 and they waited until...
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done's been right.
Hey, Joe Rogan, you were just saying only in Austin, Texas would you have Alex Jones, the police chief.
Yeah, well, the police chief was saying that. He was doing impressions of you. It's hilarious. He's going, one day closer to victory. I've got the documents. The police chief's out there.
Yeah, I noticed he brought bodyguards, though.
He's a little nervous of you.
Nervous of you?
What?
He knows you're the ultimate fighting commander.
I'm just a talker. I just talk.
You know, Joe, I know people that know you, and you actually go to the gym. I mean, you get into big stuff with big guys. You actually train with the police. Actually, you said a lot of cops.
Yeah,
I mean, you're pretty. And haven't you won some awards?
When I was younger, yeah, I fought won a lot of Taekwondo tournaments and some kickboxing fights. But yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't competed in, several decades.
Yeah, I had Chuck Norris on, and I said, "Who would win between you and Bruce Lee?" And he basically said, "Bruce Lee was just an actor. I'm a champion. What do you think would happen?"
Yeah, it's kind of true.
Yeah.
If I had a bet on Chuck back in the day. Chuck was a badass. I was a huge Chuck Norris fan.
When Chuck was 30 years old, how would he have done an open fighting? He'd have got his butt whipped because of the grappling?
Well, he would have learned it, you know, for sure. Guaranteed. If there was mixed martial arts around when Chuck Norris was around, when he was competing, definitely he would have learned it. And, a guy who's a champion in anything, whether you're a champion in boxing, whether you're a champion in wrestling, most of it is your ability, your mental focus, and your ability to figure out what you need to do to get great at something. And you can do that. If you're good at boxing, you can be good at jiu-jitsu. It's the same thing. You just have to, apply that same focus. I mean, there are certainly sports where someone has physical advantages. Like,
hey guys, rotate the camera around so we can see the police chief in there. Rotate. Well, let's get some of the guys out of the studio first so we have room. Let's rotate the camera around so we can see the police chief in there. No, this is the camera to rotate. If you rotate camera
Alex is worried you're going to put him in a FEMA camp. If you put him in a FEMA camp, could it please be air conditioned?
Here, rotate it around. Oh, I asked him. And listen, I asked him last time. I said the feds said... Look, I've got a woman going to a FEMA camp charged under the Patriot Act, L.A. Times,
I've said this
for spilling a Bloody Mary on a plane.
I've said this to you before, and I'm going to say it again. Maybe that chick was a douchebag.
She deserves to go to the FEMA camp.
Isn't it possible? Isn't that possible? That chick was a giant pain in the ass, and she was a pain in the ass to the flight attendants, and then she was a pain in the ass to the cops that talked to her when she got off. Maybe she screams and yells. Maybe she likes to curse at people. Maybe she can't control her temper. Maybe she should be locked up. Maybe she's just a pain in the ass.
Should she be charged outside the Bill of Rights under the Patriot Act?
Maybe her.
Look at you
Maybe
groveling.
Just that one lady.
Look at you groveling to the police.
It's true. I'm licking their boots.
You turned me over to them. Listen, it's like
I'm doing it for I want the upper floor in the FEMA camp.
Hey, let me tell you
what. I want the view.
It's like O'Brien. Winston thinks O'Brien's his friend, and when he's in the FEMA camp jail...
Who's O'Brien and who's Winston?
The guy that tortures him in 1984. O'Brien walks in, and he says, they got you too? And he said, they got me a long time ago.
Oh,
and he's the guy that's going to torture Winston.
Well, that's what everybody's worried about,
and that's
right?
what this is. Look, O'Brien. Here, rotate that camera around right there. Camera 3.
He's showing that he's going to lock you up.
There's O'Brien. Cuffs. There's O'Brien inside there right now.
See, now this has been my take always on police officers and soldiers, and if you want to start blaming the people that are running this world, that's one thing. But cops aren't getting paid for that. They're not the ones that are profiting off of it.
And
They're just
narcotics
working.
officers never plant drugs on people.
Well, I think there's certainly a lot of shady stuff that goes on with narcs. For sure. They're operating in a shady world, and they're watching these young black kids drive around in $150,000 Mercedeses when they can't even pay their rent. You know, I think there's a lot of resentment.
So put them in a FEMA camp, too.
Put FEMA camps, everybody. As long as they got a nice air conditioning.
Hell, we don't need the Bill of Rights. Hell, it's good they charged her with the Patriot Act and thousands of others in marijuana cases.
She might. Maybe if she was your neighbor, you would hate that lady.
Wait, so put the marijuana. Hold on. Put the marijuana smokers.
Yapping kids.
Use the Patriot Act on the marijuana smokers.
They spill everything.
Put them in the FEMA camp.
It's not just Bloody Marys.
Put them in the FEMA camp.
They spill everything. They break your windows.
I'm Alex Jones. He's Joe Rogan. Stay with us.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
I am surrounded by Joe Rogan, the police bootlicker.
Hey, fella.
Well, I'm just joking. Don't put me in a stranglehold. I don't know how to counter your jujitsu.
We're friends.
I know. I'm joking.
Worry not.
I'm just teasing you. Hey, I'm going to come to the Friday show.
Alex Jones, Friday show, ladies and gentlemen.
Now they're saying on their website it's almost some of the events are sold out. You're doing 2 shows tomorrow, 2 shows Saturday.
2 shows Saturday.
You're doing
one tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, 2 shows Saturday.
And so people need to go to the website or
the
call the
website
number.
says everything is sold out, but if you go to the booth, like, tonight or today, you might be able to buy a few.
I was about to say, whenever
they save a few, they put a few aside. Yeah. So there's a couple that are available.
Hey, you want to offer the police chief one? Maybe you can go with us.
That's good, especially when I start talking about pot. Have them sit up close.
But I mean, seriously, they're putting people with pot, charging them with terrorism. Are you for that?
No, I'm not for that, obviously. Where's that? Who's charging who with terrorism?
I can pull it up. Patriot Act being used in marijuana cases. Google
it's hilarious.
And they don't get their Bill of Rights under it.
Well, they're
it was meant for
right.
hardcore Al-Qaeda.
They're definitely right. There's some terrorism going on. If you get really good weed, and you eat it, like your really good pop brownie, that is like an act of terrorism. That scares the hell out of you. You ever have a really good pop brownie? You get terrified. You want to curl up in a fetal position and just cry. It's terrorism.
Joe, this has been one insane transmission. And we found out.
It's always been fun.
We found out you like Ron Paul.
Well, you know what? I've been pretty vocal about that.
Yeah.
I think anybody who's looking at the system, there's no way to look at it and say, well, this is a mess. This needs to be revamped. And he was the only one that was offering a real radical restructuring of this, of our government, and just staying out of other people's business, and not being the policeman for the world, not getting involved in all their BS. And
by the way, Joe, there's another reason.
Whether he could have pulled it off, who knows?
There's another reason you're so successful in all the media you do. You're a hardworking guy. You got in late last night. You had 3 hours sleep. You did a couple hours at KLBJ this morning, and now you're in studio here, and you're finally going to get some sleep now before the show.
Well, I'm doing it for you because you're my friend. I mean, I've always enjoyed hanging out with you. You're a funny guy, and I think you do a great service. I mean,
well, you're my friend.
Even if people think that you're crazy, I think there's a lot of the stuff that you say that's just irrefutable, and people need to look at that.
Well, I appreciate you, Joe. In the 10 years I've known you, it's always time for we'll have walker canes next week.
That's on the way, bro.
No, but then we're going to be in silver spacesuits as old men.
You think so?
Yeah, like little jetpacks.
I would have thought pot would be legal by now, so I'm not really banking on the silver spacesuits. But we do have a black president. I would have never thought we had that first, and then pot would be legal. I would have thought that we would have pot would be legal, and that would be the reason why people would vote in a black president. Everybody would be so high, they just go, whatever, man. Vote him in, Obama, Hussein.
See, I don't smoke pot, but I'm for decriminalization.
Yeah.
Because 87% of drug users only use it. We need to empty the prisons out.
Well, not only that, how about this? How about all you're doing is, it's just an experience. You're not hurting anyone else. And who is one person to tell you what you can and can't experience? It's the argument that you're saving people from it is complete, total nonsense. There hasn't been a study ever done that shows that there's some sort of a negative health effect, especially to, rational use of marijuana. It's far safer
well, we know this.
than alcohol, prescription drugs,
cigarettes kills
aspirin,
millions
caffeine.
a year. Millions a year. Marijuana kills them.
Caffeine kills thousands of people every year. So does aspirin. Cigarettes kill 400,000 in this country every year. Alcohol kills 90 to 100,000 just of deaths, of drinking themselves to death. I mean, it's amazing. Marijuana zero ever. But because of the fact that it's been demonized with propaganda from William Randolph Hearst and Harry Anslinger in the 30s up until
William
today.
Randolph Hearst, that's Hearst Publishing.
Exactly. Well, the reason why people don't understand the reason why marijuana was initially made illegal was not because of the psychoactive effects of the plants. It was completely an economic issue.
Dow Chemical didn't want people to wear polyester, not the hemp
clothes. Yes, hemp is a far more durable fiber than cotton.
And unlike cotton, it grows everywhere.
Exactly, and it's renewable. It's much more renewable than trees are. You can make paper out of it far easier and restore the area in a few months' time. You can have plants growing there again.
You come into Austin once a year?
I come in once a year.
We got to have you back in next time, and I'm going to come see you.
I will.
I'm going to come see you.
Friday night, buddy. Late show. If you want to go to the Friday night late show, if you can sneak in, Alex Jones will be there, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be one step closer to victory. We have the documents to prove it.
All right, we'll be right back with the Austin Police Chief, Mr. FEMA Camp. Stay with us.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?